estate in China 10 laws you need to know. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Global Properties channel. Today, we're diving into a topic that's not only fascinating, but also incredibly important if you're thinking about investing in real estate. Whether you're a seasoned investor or just starting out, understanding the laws that govern property transactions in China can make a world of difference. Today, we're talking about something that could make you a lot of money, or lose it just as fast: real estate. The Chinese property market is one of the most dynamic and lucrative in the world, but it's also fraught with complexities and legal nuances that can trip up even the most experienced investors. But not just any real estate. We're going global, straight to China's property market. From the bustling streets of Shanghai to the serene landscapes of rural provinces, the opportunities are endless. However, navigating this market requires a keen understanding of local laws and regulations. We're breaking down the top 10 real estate laws in China that you absolutely need to know. These laws cover everything from property ownership rights to tax implications and zoning regulations. Knowing these can help you avoid costly mistakes and ensure that your investment is both profitable and secure. Trust me, this info could save you thousands, even millions. So grab a notebook, sit back, and let's get started. By the end of this video, you'll have a solid understanding of the legal landscape of Chinese real estate, and you'll be better equipped to make informed investment decisions. Let's dive in. Law 1. Land ownership structure. First things first, let's talk land ownership. It's crazy in China. In America, you buy a house, you own the land, right? Simple. But in China, it's totally different. You don't own the land. You're buying the right to use it for a set time. And for houses, that's usually 70 years. Yep, 70 years. After that, you can usually renew, but the government sets the rules and they can change everything. Law 2. Foreign ownership restrictions. Now let's talk about my international viewers. Many of you might be considering the idea of buying property in a foreign country, and one of the most intriguing places to do so is China. But can you even do it? Let's dive into the details. China has strict rules about foreigners buying property. The Chinese government has put in place several regulations to control the real estate market and ensure that it remains stable. These rules are particularly stringent when it comes to foreign buyers. To even buy a house, you usually need to have lived there for at least a year. This residency requirement is crucial because it shows that you have a genuine connection to the country and are not just looking to make a quick investment. Not on a tourist visa, a real work or student visa. This means you need to be in China for a legitimate reason, such as employment or education. Tourist visas are not sufficient for property purchases. Usually foreigners can only own one house, and it has to be for them to live in. This rule is designed to prevent speculation and ensure that the property market remains accessible to local residents. So, if you're a foreigner, buying property in China is possible, but it's not easy. The process involves a lot of paperwork and legal hurdles. You will need to consult with real estate agents and possibly even legal experts to navigate the complexities. You have to follow their rules. Every step of the way you must adhere to Chinese laws and regulations. This includes everything from obtaining the correct visa to ensuring that all your paperwork is in order. It's a challenging process, but for those who are determined, it can be a rewarding experience. Law 3. Minimum down payment. Alright, let's talk money down payments. In China, get ready because down payments are huge. For first-time buyers, it's usually at least 30%. That's 30% in cash. A second property, that down payment can jump to 60%. The Chinese government is serious about controlling the market. Law 4. Property tax policies. Let's talk taxes. Taxes are an inevitable part of life, and they come in many forms. Whether it's income tax, sales tax, or property tax, everyone has to deal with them at some point. But when it comes to real estate, taxes can get particularly interesting. Nobody likes them, but they're part of life, especially with real estate. In many countries, owning property means you have to pay a yearly property tax. This can be a significant expense, adding up to thousands of dollars over the years. It's a recurring cost that property owners have to budget for annually. Here's the thing about China. They don't have a yearly property tax like the US. This might sound like a dream come true for property owners. Imagine not having to worry about that annual bill coming in the mail. But as with most things that sound too good to be true, there's more to the story. But wait, there's a catch. While you might be off the hook for yearly property taxes, The Chinese government has found another way to collect its dues. Instead of spreading the tax burden over the years, they require a hefty payment up front. Instead, China has a big deed tax when you buy. This tax is a one-time payment made at the time of purchase. It's a significant amount that can catch many buyers off guard if they're not prepared for it. The deed tax is calculated based on the value of the property, and it can be quite substantial. This tax can be 1 to 5% of the property's value, depending on where it is and what kind of property it is. For example, buying a property in a major city like Shanghai might incur a higher tax rate compared to a rural area. The type of property, whether it's residential or commercial, also plays a role in determining the tax rate. So, no yearly taxes, but you pay a lot up front. This can be a significant financial burden for many buyers, especially those who are not expecting it. It's important to factor in this cost when planning to buy property in China. While the absence of yearly property taxes might seem appealing, the deed tax is a crucial aspect to consider in the overall cost of owning property in China. Law 5. Capital gains tax. Okay, so you bought a property, held onto it, and now you want to sell. China has a capital gains tax, and it can be a bummer. If you sell within 5 years, you pay 20% of your profit to the government. But here's the good news. If you wait 5 years, you can avoid that tax. Patience can save you a lot of money. Think long-term. Law 6. Pre-sale properties. Here's something common in China pre-sale properties. You're buying a property before it's even built. It's like buying a promise of a future home. These are often cheaper than finished properties, but there are risks. Sometimes developers have problems and the project gets delayed or even canceled. So, do your research. Law 7. Housing Provident Fund. The Housing Provident Fund, or HPF, is a government savings plan to help people buy homes. Employees and employers contribute. People use their HPF savings for a down payment and get lower interest rates, but it's usually only for Chinese citizens, so foreigners don't get this benefit. Law 8. Land use zoning. This is crucial. Land use zoning. China has rules about how land can be used. Residential, commercial, industrial. Before you buy, check the zoning. Make sure the land is zoned for what you want to do. If you buy commercial land and want to build a house, you'll have legal problems. Law 9. Urban renewable projects. Be aware of urban renewal projects. These projects can be good, but sometimes they involve tearing down old buildings. If your property is in the way, you might have to sell, even if you don't want to. The government will pay you, but it might not be enough, and you might have to move. Check for planned projects. Law 10. Environmental impact assessments. Finally, let's talk about environmental rules. China is getting serious about the environment, including real estate. You often need an environmental impact assessment, or EIA, before building or changing a property. This checks the environmental impact and makes sure it meets China's standards. It's important for the environment, but it takes time and adds to the cost. So there you have it, the top 10 real estate laws in China. It's complex, but if you do your research and understand the rules, it can be rewarding. Knowledge is power. Which law surprised you the most? Let us know in the comments. Like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more real estate insights. See you in the next video.